What's up, you guys? Today's topic will be heavy, and it will be the destruction of the child soul through the Christian church. And I know your first thought is probably thinking, the church is not destroying our kids, it's saving them because it's saving us. The Bible, God, and church don't even work in the church house. And yet, y'all think that this system is going to work in the schoolhouse and amongst your kids. If you ever looked at the energy of the church and the energy that's actually coming from the church, because the church is upholding a spirit, it is upholding an altar, and it is worshiping an entity. And although all of these churches try to use a particular face, or we're different, we try to be different, the energy and the ritual in which you are doing is the same, no matter how different you may think that you are. And even if you feel like you are one of them churches who, we're doing everything that we're doing in the name of love, the church in itself was never about love. Stay with me. The duty of the church was not about love. The mission of the church was never about love. That's always the mission statement that it portrayed, to harness energy. An energy harvester. When I was a young child, I've always been a child that I seen things very differently. And I could see things differently that other people around me and most people cannot see or not open to. When I grew up in the church as a child, I would have dreams about the leadership and the ministers. And what would be shown to me is that the prophets that led the church were actually spiritually shut down. And pieces of their souls were, in the best way that I could say, shut off and locked away from them. So I already knew from my own inner understanding that these people were not operating in what one may call power. I remember growing up in church and so many youth around me, depressed, screaming, not literally, but their souls are screaming. And a lot of these children are connected to very religious parents. And you would think that these children and these parents, they're loved, they're kept, they're following Jesus, the Almighty Savior. But these people do not even realize that the entity and energy that they are worshiping is far beyond what they have convinced themselves that they're worshiping and that it is doing. There are prophets of the church that are conjuring demonic entities that is sweeping force and wreaking havoc through your house. And this spirit is not your unruly, disobedient, rebellious child. Half of these children do not even want to exist in the homes of their parents because of the entity that is sweeping through these so-called Christian homes. And this energy is emotional neglect. It is emotional narcissism. It is a form of spiritual abuse, which historically, this spiritual abuse has always been implemented through Christianity. You have a woman following God with a husband following God. The woman is broken, no voice. The man is a powerhouse of aggression that uses the face of God to hide the own inner Things of himself he has not cultivated. And he drains the energy of his wife. She is too weak to stand up and fight and correct her husband, because the feminine births the masculine. And the masculine way back to himself is the feminine. And now we have the broken mother, broken father who plows with control, who breaks down and shuts down the energy and the soul of the child through physical abuse, through abusing and implementing fear into these children, telling them they're going to go to hell if they do not listen to you. This whole leading children with fear and aggression and doing it through the name of God and forcing children to take on a belief system that has not even saved the world is insanity. And to sit there in the church of God and ignore the fact that these children are depressed and crying, and half of them are suicidal. Jesus is not saving your motherfucking children. And you cannot ask someone else to do what it was always your responsibility to do, no matter how broken you are as an adult. Because this is the problem. When we start to dive into it and we start to go beyond the word, half of these adults are grown, broken ass children. And they raise children that become adults and now must give grace to your broken ass, because you've been broken this whole time, beating it the hell out of your children in the name of God. The church is destroying the homes. It's destroying the kids. Because these adults are so far gone. These adults that be so close to God and are so holy and are so Christian have some of the most darkest spirits in ways that they cannot even begin to imagine, because their head would be so far up their own ass in an illusion. Religion is not the highest truth. Christianity, Islam, Buddha, all of these religions out here are not the ultimate truth and are not the gateway to your spiritual expansion. And the proof of this shows in the fact that your children are suffering at the hands of the God that you gave to save them. But the problem is these parents don't realize that they are God. And many of these parents are beyond what they have convinced themselves God is. And while they sit crying out in the midst of their soul, their children's lives are being destroyed. And the very thing that you have given to save your children is the very rope you have tied around their neck and yourself. If you didn't see my last prior video, I had a Christian aunt who was a minister and lived by the word. And she died and her soul is trapped. This whole don't question, blindly follow is a form of insanity, and it is a form of dark manipulation. And many of these children in these Christian homes are suffering, and they're suffering at the hands of an entity that you yourself have created. And no matter how much you want to fight and say it's the kids are demonic, the devil is trying me through my kids, the devil is trying me through my wife, you are trying your own motherfucking self through an illusion that you won't let go of, even though you have watched it done nothing for your family but destroy. And many will say, oh, my family's not destroyed. They are. It's just your ass cannot see through the illusion. These folks is suffering. All because of a hell and a heaven you told them about, but you don't even have the vision to reach and see from where you sit on this earth. Jesus ain't go to church, y'all. And you got to stop letting folks convince you that the state and condition of the world is because we did not bow down and lift our ass up to the sky and pray hard enough. You got to stop letting folks convince you that the state of this shit is because We are not religious enough. Y'all got to go deeper. Your children are crying out. Your kids are suffering. And you too busy on your knees crying and bitching to a God that ain't coming to save your ass. Folks can't even become one in a church house. The spirit of jealousy, the spirit of everybody thinking they need to be in control, and half of them spiritually shut off. Most folks don't even have the vision to see the demons and the hellhounds that sit at the gates of some of these churches, siphoning the souls of the people. And I'm not talking about in the physical. And that's what's the problem with you folks. You folks only want to deal with the physical eyes and only want to deal with what the fuck is in front of your face. And you are missing. You are missing a lot. Y'all are not loving. Y'all are haters. Deep manipulators. Blindly leading folks to their own execution and their own execution of their kids. Nobody is growing. Spiritual expansion has been thrown out the window, because as long as you can holler Jesus, 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 that's all that matters, because that's all that you are feeding these kids. These kids come to you telling you they're depressed and you telling them to go pray to God. But there's a lost God sitting right in front of them. We want somebody else to save us. We want somebody else to do what we must do. We want someone else to tell us what we already know inside of our core. And we keep looking outside of ourselves for something to be the band-aid to which you have the power and the capacity to go beyond. But folks don't cultivate themselves. What these folks is cultivating is a bunch of bullshit. And that's why your kids can't see through your own ass. See beyond you. That's what I mean. These children cannot see beyond you. And that's a problem. They love you so much, but they can't even tell you how you are breaking their heart. And the most you have to say to them is, I did all that I can do. I am a follower of Jesus Christ. And that's exactly the problem. You are a follower. You are a servant. You are a slave to your own mind. And you play it through God and the devil, not realizing that you are playing both of them. We be acting like we helping these children. We be acting like we love these children. But the only thing that we are doing is casting our own perceptions and our own judgment. These kids don't even want to talk to their own parents. And this is being pushed on children like they are unruly spirits, like they are demonic and they are rebellious. Because the parents are so damn sleep. Sleepwalking. You have to cultivate yourself. You have to cultivate yourself. Because this goes beyond what you believe. If they told you a cow was God, you would be worshiping and praying to that cow, and that cow would still do nothing but shit and piss all motherfucking day in the damn pasture. You got to be careful where you're giving your power to. You got to know what you are giving your energy to. Half these folks doing rituals every day against their own self, against their own soul, and against their own family. And they can't see it. Because they call it religion. They call it God. These folks are afraid of a place that they have not even came into themselves because of what another man has told them. And half these children can't see their own way because the women have not seen their own way. The men have not seen their own way. You got the women struggling with a man that is narcissistic, emotionally unavailable, and has not given an ounce of emotion or care or genuine grace to her or her children. Y'all got to be careful who you sticking beside in the name of God, because these folks is manipulating you. These folks want you to be just as stuck and down bad and fucked up and messed up as them. And leading you to a pit of entrapment of your spiritual soul, of your divine heritage, and of your birthrights. Because you looking to be inspired, because you cannot look at yourself and be inspired. Stop looking for somebody else to inspire you and to tell you about yourself. You got to pick yourself up and begin to see differently. It is killing our children. Our children are not even 10 years old and fighting truth and love that these adults have not even given an example of, because they're so busy cultivating a spiritual entity that is further ciphering them and the energy out of their youth. The church of God is the exact same as the church of Satan. Because where do you draw the line between hot and cold, baby? It's a side of the same coin. It truly is. These children have higher truths. These children have capacities beyond many of these adults, because many of these adults have shut down their own spiritual sight, give away all their energy and power to a statue and a man they call Jesus and have made God. And now we're at a point where we watch a world of narcissistic, emotionally unavailable men talking about a God that is just as narcissistic and emotionally unavailable as them. And you wonder why your household is destroyed and sitting in shambles. And the only thing you can tell your kids is to pray and follow God. And they see the house on fire. I remember being young, not understanding why I'm in dreaming, and in the astral realm, I'm watching my house burn down, and nobody around me is saying or doing nothing, acting normal. That's the whole entire world for you. Houses on fire, and nobody in the house acts like anything is going on. Just going on with their daily lives, and around them the whole entire house is burning down. And it continues to burn because everybody lives in a motherfucking deep-stated illusion of the self that is not real. It's not. There comes a point in life where you got to begin thinking like a God. And then when you can think like a God, go beyond a God. But y'all so afraid. You are so afraid. Because you have not spent enough time cultivating the soil within yourself, because you have cultivated every other thing but you. Because you have listened to the world and what other people got to say, how other people manipulate you through their own belief and their own perceptions. And this is exactly what we do to children. And wonder why these kids are killing themselves. These kids have anxiety. These kids have depression. And that shit in itself is a whole entity that is created. These are not the states in which our children exist. These are the states that we have implemented on them. Because deeply, the parents are depressed. Their souls are entrapped. And they being ruled by entities they call God and Jesus. And they are demonic presences of very low vibrations. And your children can't sleep. Children are having sleep paralysis. and you throw your little earthly whatever you want to put on it or pray to God, and half of you are the reason, because you are the conduit of the entity in which you are manifesting, that is wreaking havoc in your home and on your kids. But you so damn broken, you can't see nothing. Because half you hoes just gonna sit and pray and cry to God till the day you die. And the motherfuckers around you gotta continue picking up the pieces and seeing through all of this shit. Because you are a sleepwalker. You are dreaming awake. You are sleeping awake. You refuse to see beyond your own perceptions. You cast your perception on to absolutely everybody around you, and the only energy of your perception is hate, fear, division, and all in the name of God.